Your traditional 45 auto 1911 did not have a ramp barrel. It basically the frame here at the ramp is polished. Brown would make the transition right up into the chamber, and that's how it went. And that's how John Brownie designed it, and that's how it remained for over 100 years. And it obviously worked well, and has continued to work well. Now we got to transition into things like the 9mm 1911, and some people definitely don't. They think that's sacrilegious. I actually love them. And here's a Springfield Armory, and that's how that works right there. You got a ramp barrel right there, and it sits into the frame right there. Now this happens to be an alloy frame 1911 9mm Commander that I absolutely love shooting. Now you see there, I would actually want that ramp barrel in that, because I wouldn't want that. Emotional part of me says I don't want that round riding up on a softer material like the alloy. Versus just riding up on steel here. Now here's an interesting take. Here's a barrel off of a Browning High Power, and that right there has obviously a ramp barrel. Even all the way back to I believe Browning, working on this, in the 20s, and of course not actually dying before it can be completed, and it finally being adopted in 1935. But there you see a ramp barrel for 9mm. So there may be something to be said about if it's a 9mm to have a ramped barrel. Here's a Colt that does not actually ramp the barrel. You can see here's the Colt on the right, and the ramped barrel here on the left. I guess it doesn't matter if it's a Colt or not, but there's what a non-ramped barrel looks like. Although it does have a slight ramp, you could almost say maybe a semi-ramp. Now how does that sit in the frame? Right there. This is a steel framed one. You can see the transition there and how it makes it. Alright, so you have like a, you could almost say like a partial ramp on this that's on the frame. A partial that connects to that right there. You can see how much different the ramp is on the left here with the 45 automatic, and the 9mm here on the right. So a little bit different. So I have not had issues firing this one here. I've not had any kind of strange hiccups or anything like that would be so alarming to me that I would say I would you can actually see it's quite dirty. Shot it quite a bit, and I've not had the issue. But of course, how the Browning High Power is kind of the mistress for me to all the 1911 stuff, and I absolutely like it. But you got other brands here. This is a T-Sauce, and you can see down in there they actually have a ramped barrel. Even the T-Sauce went that route. Now another one here, I get a question. Here's a Colt Gold Cup in 9mm, and it does not have a ramp barrel. It does not. So for me, it's just it's really I guess a preference thing. It doesn't bother me if it does or doesn't. The only one that was going to be a deal breaker for me was when I was searching out the alloy framed ones. I wanted that to have a ramp barrel. I didn't want even though I've heard they could put like a shim in there or something like that, but I didn't even want to get involved in any of that. I just wanted the traditional ramped barrel there on that particular model. So, guys like Larry Vickers, they actually do say to if you're going to have the 1911 and 9mm to have a ramp barrel. So there, take that for what it's worth. For me, again, it's hit and miss with me. It's not really a deal breaker unless something like that it was. But I will say, I've got to admit, there's something to be said about, at least, you can say, well, John Browning knew something when he was doing a 1911 style in a way. It's still got some 1911 features to it, but in 9mm, speaking of the high power, and he put a ramp barrel on that. So you could say there's something to be said about that or whatnot. So anyway, there you have it. You know, take it for what it's worth, you know, but there's a kind of a rundown on it. Hopefully that answered some questions. You know, so here we got a Springfield Armory, the Ronin. This is the Ronin 9mm Commander that I like a lot. It's an alloy frame that's got a ramp barrel. Here's a traditional combat Colt Commander model that does not have a ramp barrel. It's an all steel gun, so again, that doesn't really bother me. And of course, you got the Gold Cup over there that does not have a ramp barrel, and yet, you know, you got a T-Sauce here. Like, you know, these are what, $300-400. That has a ramp barrel. So, to ramp or not to ramp?